Hurricane Idalia made landfall as a strong Category 3 hurricane with winds at 125 miles per hour. Now our concern shifts to inland flooding, inland tornadoes, and that wind, which is staying very stout, likely still at hurricane strength in many cities. Hi, everybody. I'm meteorologist Chris Justice, keeping you posted hour by hour today as we watch Idalia move through Georgia into the Carolinas with some powerful impacts. If you're new to this channel, I'm a straight shooter when it comes to severe weather. I give outlooks and then I stay with you through the storm, whether it be tornadoes, hurricanes, or wintry storms. This is the place to go when it comes to severe weather. And if you like that kind of thing and would find it helpful for your family, please consider giving me a follow. Hurricane Idalia got the latest update from the National Hurricane Center. Winds are sustained. That's the persistent wind at 90 miles per hour right now. It's moving north-northeast at 20 miles per hour, and this is a powerful hurricane. Let me show you what it did today as it moved through Florida. Storm surge, as we talk about with these type systems, so powerful. This is from our sister station in Florida West 2, and look at the storm surge, 9, 10, 11 feet. That's so high, folks. I mean, that's what's so damaging with this is the waves. Imagine where you're normally sitting at the beach and the waves are crashing some 10, 15 feet above where you normally would sit. That brings that water into buildings, especially those first floor buildings, and can be oh so dangerous. So again, we're watching it closely throughout the day. This thing's holding its strength together as it's moving toward the north. I've got a brand new track here I want to show you as it's rolling through these areas. So Idalia, a Cat 1 hurricane right now, it's moving quickly, now caught up in the jet stream, north-northeast at 20 miles per hour. I want to show you something here before I advance this map. Notice how the most of the rain is on the north side of this system. And the reason being, since this thing's now caught up in the land, it's wrapping in drier air right in here. So it's a little bit drier on this side of the storm. So most of the rain's going to be on this north side. We'll be watching that today. But look at this. A key takeaway for the National Hurricane Center's new track that just came out shows that it will likely still be a powerful hurricane as it's rolling through Savannah, Georgia, Hilton Head Island, and then Charleston. There's good news and there's bad news here. The very bad news that I have is this is going to be rolling through this evening at a time frame that's anything but ideal because you've got a high tide, you've got a lunar high tide, which is going to push a lot of this water inland toward Charleston, Myrtle Beach, and Hilton Head Island. High tide in those areas sometime between 7 p.m. tonight and 9 p.m., depending on which beach you're looking at. But that's going to coincide with the time that the strongest onshore flow is going to be. We're going to see this water come out of some areas that we're not used to seeing. I think that's going to be a very powerful impact for our friends in Hilton Head, Savannah, Charleston, and Myrtle Beach tonight. So keep that in mind. The good news I have, if you're looking for some silver lining here, Myrtle Beach and inland, you're now looking like you could have a better chance at being on the west side of this track, which would put the most powerful winds probably 30, 40 miles out to sea. So we'll watch that closely. You're still in the cone, solidly in the cone along the Grand Strand. But, if we're looking for a silver lining, that would be one for Myrtle Beach. For Charleston, unfortunately, it looks like there's a better chance this is going to go west of you, which puts the most powerful winds, severe threat, and heavy rain right in here through Charleston and Hilton Head. With that said, this is kind of a lopsided system at this point. A lot of that rain is going to be in here, all right, with this track that I'm seeing right here, and I'll show you that on our computer models. So the three most reliable computer models, our global model's doing a great job. The European wants to lean toward the coast, while the GFS and the Canadian model in white want to keep this a little bit closer to the I-95 corridor, which would put higher inland storm threats and higher inland flooding toward the I-95 corridor east. So all the populated areas like Hilton Head, Charleston, and Myrtle Beach could have higher impacts in those solutions. Either way you slice it, I see a high threat for excessive rain and flooding today. This would be Columbia south through Augusta. Though the worst of the storm wind-wise is going to be southeast of Columbia, you're still right there on that north side of the storm where you're going to get quite a bit of rain. There's even a medium risk in the southern part of the upstate for you folks in Greenwood, Abbeville, southbound through Augusta, Charlotte, to even Atlanta. Basically, the I-95, or I should say I-85 corridor, there is a medium risk. And then you get here to Columbia, to Charleston, you got a high risk. That's where the highest rain is going to set up. The highest wind will be a little bit farther east. And what does that rain look like? Look at that setup here from Columbia to Charleston, anywhere from 3 to 6 inches tonight. And that's about 12 hours worth of rain falling, and that's a short period of time to get that much rain. Inland flooding, always one of the most concerning things. Folks, please, the biggest concern we have with these systems is don't drive through standing water. That is the most dangerous thing, and frankly, the thing that kills people the most when it comes to tropical systems is inland flooding. We've got this powerful hurricane step by step. This brand new computer model just came in. It's our high-resolution model. It has been a workhorse this week. It has performed very well, giving us a fresh idea. You got more gentle rain and wind in the northern part of the upstate of South Carolina, but you got some really heavy torrential rain from Columbia to Augusta to Myrtle Beach and Charleston. This will be 2 p.m. today. And then going throughout the evening hours, you'll get rounds of rain in Charleston and Hilton Head, but the strongest winds arrive here at 7 o'clock. And this is when I think things are going to get very interesting for Charleston, Myrtle Beach. This is when that storm surge will be cranking up at its worst, and that coincides with high tide. So I think we're going to see water in a lot of places we're not used to in areas like Isle of Palms, Charleston. Not so much for Hilton Head, based on where the core is at that time, but we'll be watching it for Hilton Head. But it looks like, especially from Charleston to Myrtle Beach, up through the Grand Strand, those impacts could be pretty substantial with storm surge 6, 7, 8 o'clock as that high tide comes up. We'll look for that to go down, and we clear out with the rain in the upstate through 11 o'clock, and then here we go through 2 a.m., 3 a.m. This thing's pulling away, and by the time we wake up on Thursday morning, we all are getting a gentle northerly wind with lower humidity and cooler temperatures. Let's look at that core today. It's a Cat 1 right now. New model has it moving through Savannah and Hilton Head with some potent winds here, 50, 60 mile per hour gusts. And then it looks like this model wants to show the worst of the core being just along the coast or out to sea. We'll watch that very closely as it rolls on through. But currently, we've got those winds ramping up in a hurry today. So we're going to be watching that closely. One thing's for sure, I'm going to be watching for the inland tornado threat today. I've got the severe threat pulled up right here. It's in the high category, right along the coast, from Hilton Head to Savannah to Charleston to Myrtle Beach. And the time frame would be from 2 p.m. through 10 p.m. today. We've already had tornado warnings in Chatham County, Georgia, Bryan County, Georgia. I expect we will find ourselves under more tornado warnings today from the low country to the Grand Strand up through Wilmington, a high risk for storms and high risk for tornadoes at that as we get those spin-ups in the tropical circulation. So folks, again, my commitment to you is to keep you safe throughout the day. If you appreciate my no-nonsense weather forecasting, please consider giving me a subscription right here. I would appreciate that, and I will keep you posted throughout the day, folks. Hour by hour, we're with you through this storm.